We are going to create some 3D flowers for our glow garden. So it's going to look something like this when it's finished. To begin, you are going to get a long, skinny piece of paper. On your first flower, you are going to create some kind of pattern or design with the glow oil crayons. So using lines and shapes and repeating them, I made a really funky abstract pattern. I'm going to use this to create my flower, my first flower. First flower has to have some kind of an oil crayon pattern. You can pick what color you're going to use for it. To start making our 3D flower, we're going to fold this paper long and skinny. Notice how I folded so the oil crayon is actually facing in. I can't see it. From here, I am going to start from that fold side, and I am going to do tiny little fringe cuts all the way down. Notice how these fringe cuts are all about the same width. They're super tiny. My pinky fits on 2 of them. I am leaving a space though. If I kept cutting, these would just fall off. I left a space at the bottom. I cut just over halfway down. I have already completed that on this one. So the next step, once I fringe cut it all the way, is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to see all those cuts in the middle. I am going to flip this over and fold the paper back the opposite direction. This helps to give it a little bit of a form and make it more 3D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a glue stick and I am going to glue on one long edge. So I've flipped it over, folded it the other way, picking it up and kind of sealing it all the way down the edge. Okay, from here, I'm going to just give that a little rest. I am going to curl this green paper for the stem of my flower. Starting at a corner, using a pencil, I am going to roll my paper. I'm squeezing and rolling this pencil, pushing hard. By folding from that diagonal, I'm going to end up with a nice long stem. For today, we're going to use one of those little pieces of clear tape at our table, and we're going to just tape that last corner. This pencil should pop out. If it's kind of stuck in there like mine is, the trick that I've used is to take another pencil and poke it through. Look at that, perfect. All right, now I'm ready to attach these two together. Starting on my glued fold side, I'm gonna use the tinier edge of my stem. This one's a little bit thicker. I don't think it much matters. I'm gonna put that stem at the bottom where I glued the pink together. And again, I am rolling and pinching. As I keep rolling, I'm trying to keep them even in line right here. If you come down at an angle, so I'm coming down further on the stem, it will start to make the flower look like it's more longer. If you want it just very small and keeping them closer together, this kind of popped out. I should be able to fit it back in there. Miss Clary was talking too much. All right, I'm gonna keep rolling, and already this is kind of going down at an angle. I'm just gonna continue, keeping it nice and tight and pinching as I'm rolling. When I get to the bottom, it just works easier to use tape. So I'm gonna tape that pink together. I'm also going to use a second piece of tape down here and tape the bottom, the pink, onto the green so that they're stuck. From here, I can kind of play around and spread these out to give them more of a form, make them more 3D. Today, your goal is to make at least one flower. That first flower is the one that has to have the pattern. If you have time for a second flower, awesome. We are going to keep them together so that they don't get lost. We'll get a name tag on them together.